it's not fair that in the biggest fight of your life, you should have to put up with that.
Boxing fans here in Birmingham. Eddie, we know you can talk, but Sonny Edwards stole that show, stole the press conference. He started having a kick-off with Hamza Uddin. What do you make of Sonny? He's a character, right?
I like Sonny. I mean, look, by the way, it's not just bluster and noise. Like, there is valid debates behind all of Sonny's arguments, you know, and you see what burns deep about the Olympic selection and all that kind of stuff. That's part of the story behind this fight, but he's very opinionated, very knowledgeable, and he's a very good fighter. And this is a tremendous fight, November 30th. I think one of the best fights that can be made for British boxing, and looking forward to a great show.
Yeah, people say maybe it's a bit too early for Galal, but does the Olympics and the WSB and all that experience count?
I just feel that at 31, you know, having had 8 10-rounders, it's time. You know, and they wanted that 8-rounder just to close the gap of the inactivity in Sheffield. They've had that. It's time to roll the dice. But you need to make fights like this to take people to the next level. Like, if you want to be a star, if you want to start filling stadiums regularly, fighting for world titles, you have to win fights like this. Because fights like this will do big crowds, they'll do big viewership, they'll get a lot of attention. And that's how you make a star. So don't be afraid to roll the dice. And if you lose, you come back and you have another fight. But you might not be on the level that you could be if you win.
Just quickly going to wrap this up. Sandy Ryan, weird on the weekend, but she's put out a statement saying there was also another smear campaign towards her. What can you tell us about Sandy Ryan?
Yeah, look, I was disappointed. You know, I woke up like, I think if I was there, I would have said to her, probably don't take the fight. You know, you can't expect to perform at the highest level when that happens to you, and you're crying and you're emotional and you're angry. It's just not the way to box. But she wanted to go through with the fight, and the fight was brilliant. Could have gone either way. I thought she edged the fight. But I've seen the CCTV footage, and someone is waiting for her outside the hotel. They get out of the car. When she comes out, they throw paint all over her. They run back in the car and they drive off. This is a targeted attack on Sandy Edwards that can really be whittled down to a very select number of people. They have all the CCTV footage of the incident and across New York. The NYPD are dealing with the matter, and I fully expect to get to the bottom of who's behind it. In the meantime, you know, we expect cooperation from Top Rank, you know, who obviously our fighter was on their card. You'd hope that they're protected at all time. Appreciate it's an isolated incident, but there were posters all around New York with expletives on it about Sandy Ryan in the build-up to the fight. Someone is behind this, and I want to find out who it was, because it's not fair that in the biggest fight of your life, you should have to put up with that. It's not a fair fight, and she should be given a rematch. The WBO should instill her as the immediate mandatory, and let's do it again. But most importantly, let's find out who's behind it.
Anthony Joshua put a picture of him, yourself, Turki al-Sheikh. What was the sort of gist, or what was the outcome that you can sort of discuss?
I was there. You know, it was you know, very much a what are we doing next? You know, do we want to take the rematch, or you know, do we want to wait and see? You know, I think in AJ's mind, he will always want the immediate rematch, and we'll work over the next couple of weeks to decide what we're going to do.
Just a final one. Carl Froch has done his piece on the fight, and he said, listen, maybe AJ's punch resistance has gone. I asked Kell Brook the same question, and he said, possibly. Do you feel like his punch resistance, or is it just the heavyweights or heavyweights?
I think if his punch resistance had gone, he wouldn't have got up from the first one. I mean, that right hand was big enough to put most heavyweights to sleep. He got up, he took huge shots in that fight until he walked straight onto one whilst he was trading, and that shot would have knocked most people out. So no, I don't think his punch resistance has changed at all. I just think he boxed poorly, and if he wants to win the rematch, he's got to put it right.
This final one, Tank versus Roach is actually December 14th started. What do you make of that one?
Yeah, I mean, look, you've seen the response online. Like, look, Roach is not a bad fighter, but he's a super featherweight, and no one's ever heard of him. So that fight's going to go down really badly. I don't think it's a terrible fight, but who else can he fight? That's the problem. Rayo's not ready, or you know, wasn't ready in time. It's difficult, and you know, now it starts to get difficult because you've got to pay Tank a lot of money, and that fight's not going to do the numbers. So you know, but sometimes that's the only option. So I don't know what to say.
Yeah, thank you very much.